students, young girls between the ages of 16 and 20. And we're talking about a whole range of things, and then they asked me a question which bothered me. They said, "Ma, these days, a lot of young men are asking young women, what do you bring to the table?" And I looked at all these young girls who are being educated at one of the best schools in the country, who are going to go on to receive degrees around the world, and they are going to bring to the table. And so my response to them was, the education you are receiving now, the opportunities you are being given, they are not meant for you to take anything to anyone's table. Addition of industry, faith, decent values. I had an obligation. Instead, in having a conversation with me, he will show me his table and I will show him mine. Erelu, Ma, the celebrant of today, my mother, my mentor, my friend. Tables in the boardroom, external but internal as well, and also in your own case, eternal. God bless you, man.
Thank you, Erelu Besifayemi. Please, let's give her a better round of applause as she makes her way to her seat. The goodwill messages, they are endless. We have goodwill message from the former military president of Nigeria, person of Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, General Ibrahim Babangida. And this goodwill message will be read by Chief Dame Senna Anthony. Please, can we give Chief Anthony a round of applause as Chief makes the way to the stage, please. Chief Anthony.
Oh, goodness. Reflecting on the good old days, Erelu, you have remained your ageless self, bubbling with enthusiasm on the lofty ideas and ideals that you represent. You have always nourished a beautiful smile and laughter, never a dull moment. As you celebrate this golden age as Erelu Kuti IV of Lagos, I wish to join many of your friends, admirers, associates. I'm always telling you are tireless. Your stamina, positive conduct, and subliminal humility, which you have.
On this day, July 29, 1947, of the source. Eba mi kira fún mama. Hey, 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 hey.
Appreciation.
Thank you, the Wolf Factor. Thank you, DJ. You will see how Uncle time to dance. Thank you. Thank you, DJ. Thank you. In case
what an evening. This is a simple
but very historic event, very memorable, and I'm sure one for a very long time. It will be difficult for anyone to hit or to meet or attempt to surpass the history that we're putting together here today. And if we don't understand the full import of what it is, they've described it in different ways. But I said that if a 27-year-old young lady, a 27-year-old, so we can actually put it in context now, a 27-year-old young lady, 50 years ago, could attain, could be identified, could be so crowned as the fourth Erelu Kuti of the whole of Lagos 50 years ago. I think it speaks a whole lot to who she was then, who she is now, and what they saw then to have given. I think they deserve a big round of applause again. You see, we might not fully appreciate what it is, but let's cast our minds back 50 years ago and look around and imagine that in all of Lagos, because let's put the story right too, Lagos has been in existence before Nigeria. Nigeria came to being in 1914, but the colony of Lagos has been in existence. We think we cannot celebrate her enough. Faith. She has demonstrated, you know, that it was a wise choice, it was a proper choice, and she has shown all of us, generations that have come behind you, that you have kept faith with our tradition. You have kept faith with the dignity of the office. You have kept faith with the historical relevance that the Erelu Kuti has in the history of Lagos. We want to thank you very much, ma'am. We want to thank you, and everybody has spoken, that we have used you as a point of contact to all of our aunties and sisters. All of them have grown to be first ladies here. All of them have grown to be captains of industry here. All of them have grown to be individual people that have learned so much from me. Each time a trip, a band comes up, you tell me this is the person that threw in this band. Another person comes up, you tell me this is the contribution. It's because of how well you have trained all of them and how well our fashion, that has also been displayed here. Our fashion, everything that we're about is outstanding. Please, let's keep it up. Let's hold on to it because we don't have any other place. You know, nobody will teach us our history better than ourselves. Nobody will teach us our culture, our tradition better than ourselves. And it's only when we preserve them, we hold them, that the entire world can indeed, you know, be part of it. I want to thank you on behalf of the people and government of Lagos State. I want to thank you on behalf of the entire traditional institution of Lagos State. I want to thank you on behalf of all of our cultural heritage that Erelu Abiola Dosumu, the Erelu Fourth, you have shown us class, you have shown us relevance, you have shown us dignity. Will continue to stand well with you. Thank you all very much for being part of this history. I hope to see you when she's celebrating 60. I'll be far retired as a governor then, but I hope to see you when she's celebrating 60, when she's 87 in 10 years' time, in a better atmosphere than we have today. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We all know that Erelu Dosumu is passionate about fashion, and over the years they've creatively worked on.
Be celebrating 50 years on a throne.
Proves His Excellency Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu. Please have a clap for Mr. Governor, please. He will be doing the honor. We're going to do it in batches. Erelu will lead the wives and all our excellencies, our First Lady.
So also, we want to do 70 of the course at 97. Like I said, thereafter, by the grace of God, thereafter, God, long life is in.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Can see them beautiful, vibrant for excellence. So we want to make a new twist to our design, not just the dark colors, but
So what will it be called?
it's in fact, the abbreviation is Ayo. So it's Ayo. So if you hear Ayo Adire, it is from here. So I mean, and it's coincidental. It's coincidental that it's.
Hello, welcome to Biscon Television News. I am Gloria Anozie Young. First, the headlines. On the national scene, US, UK, Canada issue security alerts to citizens in Nigeria ahead of planned protest. Education Minister urges students to remain on campus during protests. Business. Telecommunication companies begin final phase of SIM disconnection. Foreign. Venezuela President Maduro declared winner in disputed election after 11 years in power. Sports. World champion Spain defeat hard-fighting Super Falcons in Paris Olympics. And now the news in full. The United States, United Kingdom, and Canada have issued security alerts to their citizens in Nigeria, warning of potential violence during the planned nationwide protests. The development comes on the heels of a planned nationwide protest against hunger and hardship scheduled to take off from August 1, 2024. In separate travel advisories, the three countries cautioned their citizens to avoid areas where confrontations between security agencies and protesters might occur. In its advisory, the U.S. mission in Abuja urged Americans to avoid the rallies, advising them to steer clear of crowds and demonstrations and stay updated via local media. Similarly, the UK and Canadian government warned that protests could occur between July 29th and August 10th in major cities like Abuja and Lagos. British nationals were advised to exercise caution, avoid large crowds, and stay informed through media reports, noting that previous protests have turned violent with little warning. These advisories reflect heightened concerns over the planned nationwide protest and their potential impact on safety and security in Nigeria. The Labour Party's presidential candidate for 2023, Peter Obi, has expressed his support for the nationwide protest scheduled for August 1st. Obi, the former Anambra State governor, said the Nigerian constitution allows room for protest as it is the right of citizens. He, however, warned against violence during the protest, saying such demonstrations should be done within the confines of the law. Obi identified hunger and hopelessness among the youths as the sponsors of the protest, calling on the Nigerian authorities to engage and give a listening ear to the protesters. Acknowledging that things are difficult in the country, he said there is a need for the government to listen to the Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is Biscon Television News, and now for the business segment. Telecommunication companies in Nigeria have commenced the final phase of disconnecting subscriber identity module numbers not linked to national identification numbers. The disconnection was initially scheduled for April 15, 2024, but the Nigeria Communications Commission postponed it to July 31, 2024, after carefully considering the various challenges encountered by subscribers and requests for extensions. In an interview with newsmen, a source said the directive was from the NCC, the industry regulator, emphasizing that numerous channels had been provided to simplify the process for subscribers. However, there are concerns that the telecommunications And on the foreign scene, according to partial results announced by the Electoral Council, Nicolas Maduro has won Venezuela's presidential election. The head of the National Electoral Council, CNE, Elvis Amoroso, who is a close ally of Mr. Maduro, said that with 80% of ballots counted, President Maduro had 51% of the votes, compared to 44% for his main rival. However, the Venezuelan opposition dismissed the CNE's announcement as fraudulent and promised to challenge the results. The opposition claimed its candidate, Edmundo Gonzalez, had won with 70% of the votes and insisted he was the rightful president-elect. Opposition parties had united behind Gonzalez in an attempt to unseat President Maduro after 11 years in power. Meanwhile, opinion polls conducted ahead of the election had suggested In a surprising news, Burna Boy has announced the release of a new album on July 30th, 2024. The announcement was posted on his social media page today with the 3 words, "Album dropping 12M," sending fans into a euphoric state. The announcement comes off the back of Burna Boy's recent celebration of the 5th anniversary of his Grammy-nominated 2019 album, African Giant, which he marked with a concert at the Coco Camden. While Burna Boy has been consistent with his album releases with 5 albums in 6 years, his announcement comes as a shock to his fans, with the news appearing too good to be true, as some fans consider the announcement to be a prank or some deliberately ambiguous message. Burna Boy recently kicked off 2024 with the release of the single Higher, with which he expresses gratitude for his success in a music video that saw him take an emotional trip back to his hometown of Port Harcourt. Meanwhile, with less than 24 hours, fans are eagerly awaiting the stroke of midnight on July 30th, 2024 to confirm if they will be getting a new Burna Boy album. And that's it for the news produced by Tobiloba Abolari. I am Gloria Anozie Young. Thanks so much for watching. Do stay with us.
immortalizes the dead everlastingly. The Bisi Olatilo Show, BOS, proudly boasts of being one of the broadcast outfit with the richest library of archives of past events. The Bisi Olatilo Show's awesome archive of iconic events parade the coverage of convocations of universities, coronations of traditional rulers, inaugurations of state governors in Nigeria, the inaugurations of Nigerian presidents, and President Barack Obama of the United States of America. 2010 World Cup in South Africa, covered by the ubiquitous Bisi Olatilo Show, BOS. BOS was also at the inauguration of the Alaki of Egbaland 16 years ago, Oba of Benin 8 years ago, Oni of Ife, Ulu of Wari, and many more. As for the birthday, anniversary, and weddings of the high and mighty in the society, the BOS archives is replete with very exciting pan and beyond Nigerian super coverages. As for the festivals like Calabar Carnival, Ujude Oba Festival of the Ijebus, Lishabi Festival of the Egbas of Ogun State, and others, the Bisi Olatilo Show BOS simply is the toast of all. The corporate concerns, the banks, telecommunication companies, and other business concerns have made BOS their prime choice over the years. The newspapers, state governments would rather the almighty Bisi Olatilo Show give the coverage of their awards our inimitable packaging as exemplified by what we have in the awesome BOS archives. The Bisi Olatilo Show, BOS, is the preferred choice of state governments in the propagation and publicity of their programs to their different constituents in different states, because the Bisi Olatilo Show is the #1 program they've all been watching religiously in the last 25 years. In fact, the Bisi Olatilo Show, BOS, commissioned to provide a comprehensive nationwide campaign program for President Goodluck Jonathan President Muhammadu Buhari, and President Bola Tinubu, which took the BOS team around the country campaigning for votes for the candidates at the time. The Bisi Olatilo Show, BOS, was also involved in rigorous campaign for Governor Duoye Diri of Bayelsa State, Senator Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, and Governor Gboyega Oyetola of Osun State. Incidentally, these were all clients of BOS from the two different political parties, APC and PDP. Also, in the very rich archives of BOS, with events that span over 25 years, is the one where BOS paid an everlasting honor to immortalize Nigeria's First Lady of all times, Mrs. Stella Obasanjo, who died 19 years ago. The Bisi Olatilo Show, BOS, the of our game. On Sunday, July 28, 2024, the grand 70th birthday anniversary of Otumba Professor Oluwatoyin Ashiru, OON, the Otumba Muyegeso of Ijebuland, commenced with a Thanksgiving service at the Church of Nativity, Parkview, Ikoyi, Lagos. Otumba Professor Ashiru is a distinguished materials and metallurgical engineer with over 30 years of experience in the oil, gas, refining, and petrochemical industries across Nigeria, the UK, the USA, and Saudi Arabia. He earned his BSc in Material Science and Engineering from the University of Sussex in 1980 and a PhD in Industrial Metallurgy from the University of Birmingham in 1983. Professor Ashiru has provided technical advisory services to enhance productivity in major oil and gas industries worldwide, including Aramco, SABIC, Samarek, and Qatar Oil